Why is it so difficult for addicts to change and get sober? What is it about people who struggle with habitual patterns of addiction? Why is it that they just can't seem to press through the other side? The percentage is low, let's be honest. I think it's like 2% of people who struggle with hardcore addictions, life-changing addictions such as drugs, alcohol, pornography, all of these things. Why is it so difficult? And I'm going to break this down, and there's a science behind it. Most addicts and alcoholics and people who struggle with habitual life destructive behaviors, they have this similarity: pain and trauma. And the idea of not having the solution, right? The solution being the drug of choice or the behavior, the destructive behavior, or the food, or whatever it is. And I say that it's the solution because there's something going on inside. And at some point along the way, we find that there is relief in this thing, this drug or this behavior that seems to be working. Somewhere along the line, though, it stops working. And the behavior and the addiction end up contributing all the more to this destructiveness. And so what it looks like to the outside world is that the person's addiction is the problem. And so people say, stop drinking, stop smoking crack, stop shooting dope, stop hitting the pipe, stop this, stop that. And the idea behind that is that when they stop the thing, that they're going to just be okay or be better. Now, here's the truth. You cannot be okay or you cannot be better without stopping the thing. But you have to get to the place where the pain associated with continuing in the behavior is far greater, or at least the understanding of it, right, is far greater than the alternative. So here it is. I told you guys in my last my last little video that I got locked up in a psych ward where I was strapped down to a bed every 6 inches. I remember waking up and the only thing I could move was my eyeballs because I was strapped. And I wondered how I got there. How does a person who seemingly came from a decent background, was well-to-do, did well financially for the most part, was productive in many aspects of life, how does he end up here? And I can tell you how I ended up there. Pain and trauma. And I'm going to go through bits and pieces of the pain and trauma throughout my, my videos over time so you get to know me better. But here it is. The idea of not participating in the solution is too painful. So I wake up in this hospital bed, strapped down to the hilt. And the nurse tells me that I tried to beat up the police, that when the paramedics came to save my life, I fought with them and I was just incorrigible. So I had them feed me as much as I could eat because I hadn't eaten in days and days. And then I realized I lay there with just my shorts on in the middle of December and one sock on because I think they took off my shoe because I only had one shoe and a pair of shorts on when they picked me up. I realized that I had some hidden dope still on me. Now, this may sound strange to you guys, but to many of you listening, this isn't going to sound strange. The idea of facing what was coming or having to deal with the fact that I had ruined relationships, ruined my business, ruined my ability to live in a society in a way that showed productivity. Facing that and facing the pain that brought me to that point was too much to bear. So I realized I still had some dope in my pants, right? Just hidden away in my shorts. So I was on my best behavior the whole time while locked up, knowing that they were probably going to have to let me out because when they realized I wasn't insane and that I've never been locked up like this before, they were going to have to cut me loose. And as soon as they cut me loose, I knew I had my dope on me and I was going to get back at it, which is insane because I just got locked up for being insane in their eyes, right? So they finally let me out. They gave me like a smock and some homeless people's clothing that had been left there before. And so there was some construction nearby. So they let me out. I get out of the hospital. I immediately go snap off a light bulb, halogen bulb, clean it out, get a lighter and start smoking crack again, like an insane person. That's insane. But the thought of me not being able to get that respite or that freedom from the inner turmoil and stuff that was going on inside was too much to bear. And so I didn't realize, and I had, I knew God, right? I knew of God. I believed God was a divine taskmaster, like Gandalf the Grey, just up in the heavenlies, telling me what I needed to do in order to be who he believed I needed to be. And then as I would jump through the hoops, he would raise the hoop so I would trip on the hoop. So my idea of God was this divine taskmaster that I could never fully get or please. And by the way, that is not who God is. It is not the God that I have come to understand in any way, shape, or form. But the point of me saying this is you do not get here from there without inner healing through the power of God. You can't get there. You can get some psychological reprieve, right? But we need to get inner healing from the things that we have the trauma from and the things that have captivated us and held us bondage in our own heads. And so here I sit today, right? I'm like 13 and a half years clean and sober. I wasn't a total disaster for a long time. I think it like snowballed and kind of caught up all at once. And the destruction just was like it was like a car crash, right? A garage sale, just everywhere. And it was so evident. And we're all headed there, if we don't, turn our lives and our heart and our will, over in alignment to and over to what God's plan is for us. God bless you guys. I hope these are doing good for you. Share, like, subscribe. We'll do this again.